Hello. Welcome back to Code with SJM. In the last section, we set up our Laravel 12 project with the Livewire starter kit, installed Spatie's permission package, and created our database structure. Now we're going to explore the starter kit structure and build our first blog post components. Let me show you what the starter kit gave us. Open your project in your code editor. Let's look at the directory structure. First, notice the resources /views/layouts directory. The Livewire starter kit includes two different primary layouts, a sidebar layout and a header layout. The sidebar layout is the default. Open resources /views/layouts/app.blay.php. This uses the sidebar layout. You can choose to change it to top bar layout. Now you can see the application uses the top bar layout. This gives you simple layout structure for your application. But for now, I will stick to the sidebar layout. So for our post management interface, we'll use the free Flux components for navigation and build our own Tailwind components for tables, cards, and forms. Let's customize the sidebar for our blog application. We only need to add navigation items for posts. Update the navigation item display label, the icon, the route, and also update the current directive to style the route if it will be active. Add another navigation item for managing users, and this will only be accessible to admins, and I will show you how to control that using the roles and permissions package. The Wire Navigate directive give your Livewire application the single-page application feel. So add it to your routes. Now we need to control who can access which routes basing on their permissions. So add the icon directives with the name of permission that a user must have to be able to access that route or page. Now let's create our post page. We'll use a single file Livewire component. Run this command. This creates a page component at resources /views/pages/posts/index.blade.php. Now here's the key difference. Instead of using Flux's paid components like tables and cards, we'll build our own clean Tailwind UI. Open that file. Now update the file as follows. Add the public component properties. Now define the function that will be used to get all the post data, and also help to add filters to the query while generating the paginated list of posts. Also, we will have a way to authorize that only the author can see their posts and management page. Don't worry if there will be anything you want to compare on my code. All of the project source code will be available on my GitHub repository. Now authorize our users to only see their own posts. Now let's return the post that was generated above. Remember to add the Livewire attribute of with pagination for your pagination to work. Now the delete posts functionality. Remember to check if the user has the right permission to delete the post. Check if they have permission to delete all posts, or delete their own posts, and if the post belongs to them. Now let's build the front end of our posts listing page. As I have mentioned, if there will be any reason you could not be able to follow along here as I am typing or copy-pasting some of the codes, you will find the source code link in the video description. Here we have the inputs that have wire model directives for binding these fields to the public properties defined above in the component class. This means that whenever you update the input, their values are also updated in the class component side. Here we add the table for listing the post with actions to add new post, edit, and delete posts. Use the for else directive to help you loop through your posts, but when there will be no any post to show, it will automatically show the empty block instead. Beautiful. We've built a clean, professional table interface using only Tailwind CSS. No paid components needed. Notice we're still using Livewire's powerful features. Wire model.live.debounce for the search input. Wire transition for smooth animations. And wire confirm for delete confirmation. Now let's create the routes for this page. Open routes/web.php. Group the routes to use the auth middleware so that only the logged-in users will be able to access these routes. Then use the new Livewire function to define the routes of your page components. Perfect. Now let's create the Create Post page. Now the Edit Post page component. Open resources/views/pages/posts/create.blade.php. We'll build a beautiful form using Tailwind. Define the component properties as usual, but now with a validate attribute that is available for you to validate your user inputs before you can create that data in your database. Now define the function to save the data. On it, remember to call the validate function to actually validate the values. Here we define the featured image upload functionality that will be shown on the post cover. Here I use the public disk on the file system, so we will need to update the .env file to use the same public disk. Also, run the storage link command to create a symbolic link for your images to be served as expected by the application. Then, update the publish_at column if the status of the post will be equal to published. Update the UI as follows. For the image upload feature to work correctly, we need to use the Livewire attribute called with file uploads in our component class. Perfect. A clean, professional form built entirely with Tailwind CSS. We're using Livewire's file upload feature with temporary previews, and we're checking the publish post permission before showing that option. Now deal with the edit post component. This component is similar to what we have built for create page, so I'll try to do it quickly as possible. Now let's test everything. Make sure your development server is running. Now log out and log in as the admin user. We get this error since we did not create the user management module, but we have already added the user's index route to our sidebar layout. We need to work on it now. We're going to create a complete user management system where admins can view all users, create new users, edit existing users, and assign roles. This is essential for any multi-user application. First, let's create the user's index page. Run this command. Define the route for users listing page, or you can call it the index page for managing our system users. Update the label in your navigation to users, and also the permission for this route should be manage users. Open resources /views/pages/users/index the blade.php. We'll build a clean user management interface similar to our post page. Remember to use the wire key directive when looping through a list of data in your components, so that Livewire can track the changes and also improve performance. Notice we're using the same pattern as our post component. Search and filter functionality. role badges to show what roles each user has. And we prevent users from deleting themselves with a simple check. Now let's create the Create User page. Run this command. Open resources/views/pages/users/create.blade.php. Just follow what I am doing here, and you will have the same application as I have here. Also, the source code available in my GitHub repository. Beautiful. Notice we're using Spatie's assign role method. We pass an array of role names, and Spatie handles everything, creating the pivot table records, syncing the relationships. All done for us. Now let's create the edit user page. Run this command. Open resources/views/pages/user/edit.blade.php. Update the component as follows. Perfect. Notice we're using sync roles instead of assign role. Sync roles removes all existing roles and adds the new ones. This way, if an admin unchecks a role, it actually gets removed. Now here's the important part. Let's update our routes file with the correct Livewire 4 syntax. You mentioned that Livewire 4 uses namespace notation for routes. This is cleaner and more explicit. Open routes/web.php. See that double colon notation? Pages : users.index. This tells Livewire to look for the component at resources/views/pages/users/index.blade.php. It maps directly to your directory structure. Clean and intuitive. Let's test everything. Make sure your server is running. Click Users in the sidebar. You should see your 3 test users: the admin and the author. Click New User. Fill out the form. Assign some roles. Create the user. Perfect. The user appears in the table with their role badges. Click Edit. Change their roles. Update. Everything works beautifully. Here there is a problem with the route model binding. Let's fix it quickly. Remember to run the migration to create the post table. Play around with the application for now to test everything works as expected. Now you have a complete admin panel. Post management with role-based permissions. User management with role assignment. All built with clean Tailwind components. No paid libraries needed. In the next section, we'll add a rich text editor to our posts using tricks and create a beautiful public-facing blog where readers can view published posts. We'll also explore Livewire islands to make those public pages super fast. Thanks for watching Code with SJM. If you're enjoying this series, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment below if you have questions or suggestions. See you in the next one.